Hello, hello, hello. Oh my days, hurry up. Okay, still no one watching, so there's no point in using comms. Okay, and we have someone watching the stream, yay. Okay, welcome back for the main race here in Austria after a red flag period for multiple people desyncing from the race. There were collisions that weren't collisions, all kinds of shenanigans going on, but we have the grid reordered. They line up again. I've lost all my viewers now. I had 8 before the break, and now I have 1. Hello to whoever it is. Probably Mick or something. Or probably a Red Bull Academy member, to be honest. So we have Callum, Cody Ghost, Womble Paul, and Jamesy Boy, top 4 on the grid. Selby Face, top of the Ferrari Academy in 5th. Turbo Man, joining him on the third row of the grid, ahead of Lewis and Swinners, and then Woselin and Milan running up the top 10. Big Homie down in 11th, WSK Flame 12th place. Two rather disappointing sprint races for DRS Russell and ST Plays. We saw in the first part of the race before the red flag, Russell went charging through the field, so will we see the same again? VDB Dakes was the pole sitter for the sprint, dropped to the back after a crash. We'll see him charging throughout this one. Exotic lines up 16th on the grid. So as they come down now, Exotic a long way off the back of the pack. He can get a penalty for that if my game's going to allow me to clip it. And it's not going to allow me to clip it because this game is stupid. Flame has had a disqualification from this. And oh my days, my clip button doesn't even work on the controller. There was a spin there for Womble Pool as he came up the final corner trying to warm up the tyres. Let's get some information on. Let's get the position change up. It'll be interesting to see as we go through the first lap. Ah, that's a problem. My mate's I'm doing League Race commentary alpha. Okay, that's better. He's gone. Apologies for that. So, we are underway here in Austria. And clean getaway from everyone up the front of the field. That's Womble Pool gone off very wide. Jamesy Boy up into third place because of it. And VDB Dakes has spun around at turn 1. So not a great start for the McLaren. I think he got together with Russell, Turboman and Woselin side by side down towards turn number 4. Aston Martin and the McLaren battling it out. We'll ride on board with them. Down the inside, forcing Woselin out wide. Can't hang on, and through goes Turboman. Back to remain in P6. So it face runs rather wide, and to the inside goes Turboman. And they've touched, and so face sent spinning. Turboman runs out wide. And there's a big scrap going on behind. Milan and Flame side by side. So many cars in a small space of tarmac. Somehow they all make it through. Milan goes off the road. Swinners into the pit lane with wing damage. As Lewis has broken his front wing, he hit the back of Exotic. So a carnage filled lap 1. Multiple cars with wing damage or being spun around. Now we'll watch ST Plays challenging Big Homie. Around the outside goes the Mercedes driver. Just about avoiding contact. Gets the better exit and through goes ST Plays. Now we look towards the front of the field. Cody Ghost 0.3 of a second behind Callum. So Callum maintains the lead. Cody Ghost maintains second place. Jeansy Boy jumps up to third. Paul drops to fourth. Woselin with a very good start into fifth. Let's have a look at the tyre choice. The only ones off of the medium tyres is Big Homie on the hards, and then Russell and Exotic on the softs. And Flamers overtaken Big Homie for 8th position. Already a couple of battle packs beginning to separate. Big gulf between Turboman and ST Plays. Let's ride on board with Cody Ghost. He's got the DRS, deploying the battery. Down the outside he goes, and he'll be through before he even gets to the corner on Callum. Now will we see teamwork to try and get these two away from Jeansy Boy. They are outside of DRS range just about, so face retires in the pit lane. He is not going to continue in this race. Paul looking to potentially challenge Jeansy Boy, but he's too far back into that corner. Moving to turn 4. And through now to the end of the middle sector. Twisty sector of the track now. Lots of high speed, long corners. And Flame very close to the back of ST Plays. And Turboman very close to the back of Woselin, but Woselin's a high mode. And Callum is off. Callum is way off the road. He's spun it around. He's parked it up on the inside. And that is disaster for the AlphaTauri from second position. I wonder if there was contact with Coded Ghosts as he tried to move and being spun around. Flame almost at the back of ST Plays. Paul trying to go for a move on Jeansy Boy. Down the inside he will go. Through he goes on the brakes. He'll have the DRS to try and stay ahead, but drops in behind on traction. Side by side with the Alpine. Will we see a front wing appear? Yes we will. Goes to cut back underneath. Gets a much better drive out of the corner. Goes to the inside line. Don't often see moves into here, but Paul is not afraid to get his elbows out. Bit of contact with Jeansy Boy, and through goes Paul. Jeansy Boy will look to fight back with the DRS later on as they begin the next lap. Will be the next detection and DRS zone. Russell very close to the back of Flame. Could we see a move there? Potentially into turn 1. Ran a bit wide there. We'll follow this train down towards the next couple of corners. Already Flame and ST Plays out of battery. Now, will there be a move? They look to be too far away from each other. ST Plays catching Rosalind's AI. Through goes Flame. Sends one to the inside of ST Plays. Can't make it stick. Could it be an opportunity for Russell to capitalize? No, I don't think it will be. There's Rosalind's AI getting involved here. And Flame with a mistake on the exit of turn 4 through turn 5. Loses the back end. And Rosalind's out of AI mode and has been hit by Russell. I don't think that's particularly his fault. He did not realise that that car had unghosted. So Rosalind gets turned around by DRS Russell, and then he got collected by a car further back. I'm trying to figure out how it was based off of any of them got wing damage. No one goes into the pits. Lewis has wing damage, but that was from the earlier incident with Exotic. Turbo Man meanwhile catching the back of Jeansy, but Jeansy will have DRS to try and defend with and try and keep up one ball pull. Meanwhile Cody Ghosts 3 seconds clear in the lead of the race. Turbo Man goes to the inside of Jeansy. Through goes the Aston Martin. And both of them have the DRS, so it'll be a straight drag race down towards the next corner. Jeansy has a bit more battery, will use it down the outside. Will he go for a switchback? No, he just tries to hang it out. Gets forced off towards the curb, but very clean racing between the pair of them as they come down towards turn 6. Swinging goes Turbo Man, and they've touched both of them around. Turbo Man and Jeansy Boy collide, and round they go. They tumble down the order, and that promotes ST Plays into 3rd place. Flame goes 4th and Russell into 5th. Flame now finds himself battling for a podium place, only 2 tenths away from it. He will try and use the DRS, potentially move into turn number 3. I doubt he'll go for it here into turn 1, and he won't. It's a very difficult corner to try and get a move done. The nature of the corner does not lend itself towards overtakes. Meanwhile, Callum and Lewis were side by side further back, but we will hang around on board this battle. And Flame just too far away. He really thought about having a lunge, but decided better of it. ST Plays up 11 places into a podium position. Flame up 8, trying to make himself the podium sitter. And down the inside he goes. Good move from the Alfa Romeo. He goes through into 3rd place and will now try and pull away before the DRS zone. Meanwhile, that battle between Callum and Lewis still close as ever, with Turbo Man now arriving on the scene in behind. Lewis has front wing damage. He'll be struggling through this final sector. He's going to really want to understeer into the penultimate corner. Still hooks up a very nice apex, so Lewis driving around the damage very well. But he is losing time rapidly. And now Callum, no, he backs out of turn 1. As I said, very difficult to make a move and make it stick, because it's hard to get down the inside and get traction out as Dakes passes Jamesy Boy further behind. Now Callum goes through, and Turbo Man out of nowhere. I didn't even realise he was on the scene of this battle, but he pushes Callum out wide over the curb. Off goes Callum back behind Lewis. Now Lewis trying to pass Turbo Man. Oh, he's had to back out of it. That was a very, very late move from Turbo Man to try and defend position. Lewis has a lot of ERS, Turbo Man with absolutely none. Lewis goes to the inside line. We'll watch on board for Callum. He has a brilliant view of this. Turbo Man has learnt from last time, doesn't turn across Lewis. They both survive. Now Lewis really struggles into that penultimate corner. As I said one lap ago, it's really going to understeer for him. He'll have the DRS really try for a move. He's got to try and hang on if he wants to keep the place. He will keep it calm through turn 1. Try and get a good exit. Does so pretty nicely. He's now lining up a move on the AlphaTauri of Callum, but lifts out of it and backs out under brakes. Now Dakes onto the back of Lewis. He's going to lose too much time onto traction to make a move stick there. Meanwhile, Russell and Exotic side by side for P5. They've touched a little bit there, but very good racing. Exotic goes through, I believe, or was that? No, I think that's him making the move. Either way, very good battling between the duo, and they will try and chase after ST Plays and Flame for podium positions. So it's Red Bull 1-2 currently, as already we see Exotic and Russell dive into the pit lane. Very, very early stops for them. Those hard tyres that I presume they'll go on to will be crying out towards the end of the race. High tyre wear around this circuit. As we see a rather large battle pack coming down this second straight through the kink of 2 onto the brakes for 3. No moves going there. Behind in behind Jamesy Boy. He's too far behind. And there's a yellow flag, that is Swinners has spun it at turn 1. Russell too far back to make a move on Exotic after their pit stops. They've gone on to medium tyres, so... Oh, they started on the softs, that's why they were in so early. So they'll be on a 2-stopper, going for the mediums, hoping for a safety car. Cody Ghost picks up a track limit penalty already, very early in the race to be doing that. But he has almost 6-second lead over his teammate, so he will not want a safety car. Mr. Plays now looking for a move on Flame, but it's going to be too far back into the braking zone. But we might see him move down this next straight. Got very close under braking, we'll lose a bit under traction, but the DRS, and no, Flame needs to point the battery and has more battery to use, so stays ahead for now. He goes out, breaks himself a little bit there. Dakes can't get close enough to Callum yet. But now Callum has not got DRS to Turbo Man, so Dakes might be able to do something next time around. Jamesy Boy catching Lewis, and we know how understeery Lewis's car is without that piece of front wing. We'll ride on board with Jamesy, see if he can get a move done through this final sector. Very unorthodox place to go for an overtake. Speaking of which, Callum and Dakes almost going side by side. Flame and ST are going side by side. Nope, they're inside of each other. Some ghosting playing a part there. Don't tell me there's more desync. I'm going to ride on board, see if there is more desync, because if there is, then I will need to know of it. Might have been an incident. I don't believe there is, because I think he would have ghosted there. So back to the Jeansy Boy versus Lewis battle. And Jeansy goes through. Big Homie trying to pick up the pieces here. Doesn't get a very good exit. Could we see Lewis going back down the inside of the Alpine? Getting very close in behind. brakes late, goes to the outside, switches back underneath, can't get it done. Now Big Homie will be the next one to line up Lewis. Really struggling with that broken front wing is the Haas driver. Now, as Lewis has gone back down the inside of Gingsy Boy, Big Homie looks to get involved around the outside. This time he gets still struggling for exit speed there. He's going to be too far back to do anything. This is a really weird battle. Apologies, I was just sorting something out in difficult server. Now Big Homie going to the inside of Lewis. They touch and they're off into the wall. And they've both broken their front wings. And a bit of an unnecessary squeeze there, I feel. Lewis was restricted by the sausage curve. And the safety car has been called out. That is not what Cody Ghost needed. He's 9 seconds up the road. And that will be removed. But he will be able to come into the pit lane. I think he will do so because he's only going to lose one place, and it is about the pit stop window for a set of hard compound tyres right now. So, yep, he comes into the pits. Will his teammate follow him in? I think he will. Yes, he does. I think he just about made the commitment line there. Playing it very risky. One ball pull. Everyone peels off into the pit lane. Will we see any overtakes in the pit lane? ST Plays might look to pass Flame, only 4 attempts back when they came in. No, I don't think that's going to happen for him. Comes out ahead of Turbo Man still, so nothing lost there. Everyone has come into the pit lane. Lewis will finally get a new front wing. This race is going to go on for quite a while. Got another 21 laps to go. No? But yeah, I can do that. Yeah. So, after everyone has bumped up to the safety car and we get back underway, Cody Ghost will be in the lead, ahead of Womble Pool, WSK Flame and ST Plays. Exotic up to 5th, up 11 places, biggest mover of the race. Turbo Man holds 6th position. after a rather eventful start to the race. The Irish Russell in 7th ahead of VDB Dakes, who's up 7 places from the back of the grid. Alan down 8th from pole position down into 9th currently. Not the first half of the race that he would have wanted. Lindsay in 10th, also with a rather poor beginning to this race from 4th. He has dropped off. But this could be an opportunity for people towards the back of the field to get back into this one. I think safety car will be out for one more lap, unfortunately, because Swinners is not going to be close enough to trigger the safety car to enter the pit lane. So, safety car is into the pit lane. Apologies for my silence, I was getting a drink. So, we are back underway. Cody Ghost has gone and he has jumped Womble Pool. Flame is right on the back of his Red Bull as his ST plays to the back of him. Now, will we see any kind of carnage coming down towards turn 3? Looks pretty calm towards the front. Dakes making a move on Russell early on, but he's too far back to go for a lunge. However, Jeansy goes for it on Callum, loses out on the exit as Rosalind has dropped down to the back of the pack. These side by side with Swinners will run on board with that. It's the only battle currently going on. As Rosalind down the inside gets the move done. Lewis picks up a track limits penalty. And Rosalind moves his McLaren off of final running position up into 13th place. Cody Ghost already almost a second clear of Paul. Needs to try and break that DRS as early as he can because that penalty is going to haunt him. Very close in behind players and Exotic bearing down the neck of Flame. Big Omi takes a track limits penalty. Now, Turbo Man has gone through on Exotic and Russell and Dakes side by side, but Russell has to drop in behind. So, couple of moves going into turn 4 there. I didn't notice them until it already happened. Now Turbo Man dropped away from ST Plays a bit as he's had to make some overtakes, and Flame has spun around and drops all the way down from 3rd place to the back of the pack. So that is not what he would have wanted. Cody Ghost really pulling away now at the front of the field. Woslin picked up a 5-second penalty for overtaking under yellows. And no one really able to shape for a move. I think I saw Big Homie going for it on Lewis further back, but he's backed out of that one. Has he got a good enough exit to try and chase after the Haas? No, he's really struggled with that corner all race long. Callum, however, down the inside of DRS Russell, they touch. They hold the car, but they touch again. Callum off into the wall. Touches the wall, rejoins. Doesn't look to have any significant damage to the car, but it's cost him a lot of time and places as Paul has gone off the road. And he's lost a lot of time and places. Drops into 7th place. As there's side-by-side action between Big Homie and Callum as Lewis spins it around. So Lewis has spun through the penultimate corner. Callum now in behind Big Homie. Paul has dropped 7th place after his moment. Looked for a move into turn 1, can't make it work. He will be angry with himself after that. Not sure there can't have been contact as he was a long way away from all the other drivers around him. Now he goes to the inside of Jeansy Boy. Just about keeps his nose in there. Now Big Homie trying to make it an Alpine sandwich, but just cannot get the power down. Paul will go to the outside line. Meanwhile Turbo Man and ST Plays battling up in front. And Paul goes underneath Jeansy. Through he goes. But can he hold on round the outside? They're side by side all the way round. Still side by side, and through goes Paul. What a battle between those two. Meanwhile Turbo Man up to 2nd, Dakes up to 3rd, ST Plays drops into 4th position. We'll hang around with this battle because it is really livening up back here. Lewis is out of the session. He has hit the wall through turn 5 and the safety car deployed. So Lewis has crashed the car. So, safety car deployed once again. Cody Ghost's lead will evaporate. And the top 3 on the grid for the sprint race are now back to being the top 3. So it should be a very even fight up the front of the grid. Dakes, known for his speed but inconsistency. Cody Ghost has been right up there all race long. And Turbo Man, after being taken out of the sprint race on a recovery drive, in the middle of the pair. And that looked like someone was coming into the pit lane. And yes, DRS Russell is in, as is Jeansy, Woslin and Swinners. So Jeansy, Russell, Woslin, Swinners and Exotic deciding to pit for, I would think, yeah, fresh medium tyres. Yeah, so they want to try and have some softer rubber to try and make their way back through the field. It makes sense for them, they're already in the bottom half. They might as well gamble, try and make some places. No risk, no reward. So we should hopefully see the safety car in this lap. Depends how quickly those back couple of drivers catch up to the field. and we will not get underway this time around. Exotic, Woselin and Swinners too far back from the field, so we'll have to wait, go around again. So in half a lap's time we'll be back underway. So confirmation that the safety car will be in this lap. Apologies. My voice is dying. I've talked for way too long today. So, when will Cody Ghost decide to go? It's been somewhere around here every other time, and he does the same again, and it's just as effective. Half a second gap over Turbo Man. VBD takes very much caught napping. Now as they try to warm up the tyres, they're going me through on Exotic before they've even got to turn number 1. Russell already picking up a track limit penalty through the exit turn number 1. Will ride on board ST plays, too far back to make a move. Flame might not be though. Down the inside Callum he goes. There's contact. Callum gave him a big squeeze. And Callum will drop down behind Jamesy. Russell will try and get involved. The Mercedes driver goes to the inside line. Jamesy boy ahead going to the outside of Flame. We'll watch this battle though. As Jamesy and Flame get connected, off they go. Gingy and Flame tangle. I'm pretty sure that's not the first time Flame has had an incident through that section of track. And Cody goes for a 7/10 of a second lead. And Flame is out of the race after that impact with the wall, and the safety car is out immediately. And that has come out at a very good time for Paul, ST, and I believe Dakes. Yeah, they all made it into the pit. So Cody Ghost and Turbo Man did not make the pit lane. So the rest of them will box for soft compound tyres. The people who boxed in the last safety car on the mediums will jump up the order. So Woselin in a very good position. Russell on softs, a very, very nice looking position. P3, much softer, fresher tyres. And we'll have another lap of safety car because Jamesy Boy is a long way off the back after having the crash and then a wing change. So we'll be underway this time around. DRS Russell's got to fancy his chances of getting past Turbo Man and Cody Ghosts on the hard compound tyres. Their conventional strategies might not pay off here with the influence of the safety cars. So we'll get underway in just a moment's time, and Cody Ghost, leaving it later than he did last time, drops the hammer but does not get the jump he's had previously. Still slightly ahead of Turbo Man. DRS Russell right on the back will ride on board because he's going to have a lot more grip. His tyres will be warm and a lot softer. So could we see a move already from the Mercedes driver, but actually Woselin closer up behind Russell. But Russell very late on the brakes, gets to the inside of Turbo Man, can't quite pull it off. He's going to have to bide his time for now. And Paul has had an incident at the back. He's collected exotic in that crash as well. Don't know how that happened. But now Russell with the traction goes to the outside. Can he hang it all the way around the outside of Turbo Man? Little bit of contact. Woselin gets up the inside of Russell. This is not what he needs. He wants to attack. He can't afford to defend. And he gets back into third position just about. Meanwhile, Dakes and Swinners go side by side through the penultimate corner. Dakes makes it stick on the soft tyres. So could we see Dakes flying up towards the back of the top four, potentially onto the podium? Currently McLaren with a very solid 4th and 5th, and they will look to improve on that as ST Plays has spun it around. Meanwhile, Russell can't quite make a move. Dakes really late on the brakes, lost a little bit on the exit, but nowhere near as much as he gained on entry. He is now all over the back of this battle, but more so Woselin all over the back of Russell, who just can't find a way past Turbo Man. And all of this is allowing Cody Ghosts to extend his advantage in the lead to 8 tenths, 9 tenths per second. Woselin loses the back end but allows his teammate through. Very smart play from the McLaren boys. Takes now free to attack on the soft compound tyres. They have more life than Russell's. These ones fresh in the last couple of laps, as opposed to Russell's, which are about 6 laps old now. Of course, about 3 of those laps are safety car. Still will take there out of the tyres. Dakes goes through on the inside line. Russell needs to not fight this, just work with McLaren. Both of them drain their battery pack already. Russell is going to fight for this. He wants the podium place. He does not want to let Dakes run away with this, but can't get the move done on the inside. Has to settle in behind. Let's have a look at penalties, because that is going to play a big part in the result of this race. Currently Cody Ghost with a 3 second is going to drop way down towards about 5th position, I would think. So he needs to start to extend the gap. 6 laps to do so. And those track limits extensions can really hurt you here. What's the battery looking like? Cody Ghost with by far the most battery. He's broken the DRS range to Turbo Man. And now Dakes will look to pass Turbo Man as he has the DRS. Opening the flap in the rear wing. Woselin right on the back of DRS and Russell. You can see a move here. Both McLarens go for moves at the same time. Neither of them are quite close enough. Surely we'll see a Dakes move here though with the DRS. He'll deploy what battery he has, I would think. No, he's not. Can get there. No, he's just too far back. He's up 1.5 tenths behind. behind. Into the corner. He gets much better drive. That's brilliant defending from Turbo Man to just cover off the line. But he goes, picks up another 3 seconds, and that is the nail in the coffin, surely. He could have picked up a podium place, but that will be his hopes and dreams of winning this one over just like that. There would have to be a big battle or a big incident behind him. There's no way his hard compound tyres will be that much quicker than the people behind. Dakes really struggling to pass Turbo Man. You'll have the DRS here though. Surely that is an easy overtake ride on board with the Aston Martin. Expect the to go breezing past, and he does. So Dakes could still be on for his maiden, I believe his maiden win this season. I might be wrong with that. I know he was running up the front in Britain, but I believe he's spun. And Woselin and Callum side by side. Callum hits Woselin, spins the car around. And the Alpines back there, I thought they were battling, but they are not. So now slightly calmed down. Right on board with Dakes, looking back towards Turbo Man. Aston Martin just about too far behind. If I go like that, we can see that currently Cody Ghost drops all the way down to P8, but then when you factor in other people's penalties, he goes to P5. So he really needs to try and get a move on here. He wants to get a podium, but I don't think that's going to be possible. He'd have to get a big gap to Woselin, who is on medium compound tyres, so he will be faster than Red Bull, I would think. Now Dakes very nearly getting within DRS of Cody Ghosts, just on the edge of a second. Can't quite do it, I don't think. Gonna need to make a couple of last corners to get the DRS, as Big Homie has spun it through turn 7. Alpine driver facing the wrong way. He's going to rejoin the track that he's down in 12th position now. So 3 laps to go here in Austria, and Cody Ghost leads, but that penalty means Dakes is the provisional leader with Turbo Man second and Woselin third. Easy Boy getting very close to the back of DRS Russell, and through he will go. Russell really struggling with soft compound tyres, must be wearing away. And round he goes into the wall. Big hit on the rear of the car. I wonder if that's done some floor, maybe even rear wing damage. So not the race that Russell would have wanted. He looked like he was in with a shout earlier on, but it slipped away from him in the last 5 laps. Now only close battle on the track is the one for the lead. Dakes off second behind Cody Ghosts. He probably will win it on timing, but can he win it on the track? As Russell spins again with the hot tyres. This is still going 2 laps. And Dakes with a massive snapper oversteer, got behind by about half a second there, takes the pressure off Cody Ghosts for a little while. Get the gap to the leader up again, and so nearly 6 seconds to Easy Boy. That would put him into 4th place if he can get the 6-second gap that he needs to keep that up. That would be quite useful to see the progress. As Russell really struggling now. Hell, a lap down to the leaders. He makes his way into pit lane. Ghost has got the gap to Easy Boy. so he will be into 4th position with penalties applied. Had he not picked up that second penalty, he would be on the podium. Still a possibility if Dakes, Turboman or Rosalyn make a mistake. I don't think that will happen. It's the last lap, they're going to be taking it easy. This would be a mega result for the McLaren team if they can pull it off. Dakes and Rosalyn would be 1st and 3rd, double podium and a lot of points that go with it. As they come through, only half a lap to go. Big Homie takes the fastest lap but won't get the point for it because he is not inside the top 10, but could be if he can overtake FD Plays. But he's got 6 seconds more penalties, so I don't think he will make it. So Cody Ghost comes around the final couple of corners. He will win it on the circuit, but with penalties applied to the race leader, Cody Ghost wins the Austrian Grand Prix. But VDB Dakes is the winner here in Austria, ahead of Turboman and Rosalyn, rounding off the podium. Cody Ghost does get 4th place in the end, ahead of Jeansy Boy, Callum and Swinners. AlphaTauri pair coming 6th and 7th. Exotic and Paul taking 8th and 9th. There's still a battle going on for 10th place. Big Homie and SD Plays. It won't matter on the timing, but they will want to battle it out on the road through the final 2 corners. Big Homie is not quite close enough to get past SD Plays, and SD Plays hangs on to the final points playing positions. So VDB Dakes is your winner here in Austria. Turboman takes 2nd place, and rounding off the podium is Rosalyn. Deciding to box for the softs seems to have been the better option. Dakes pulled his way back through the field and ended up in the winning position. Disappointing result really for the Red Bull Academy. Cody Ghost's 4th place, that will be alright for him, but Callum, Swinners and Paul 6th, 7th and 9th, they were so good early on and in the sprint, but couldn't convert in the main race. And with that, we will round off the stream. Thank you for hanging around.